Welcome to the Barstool College Football Show presented by Phillips and Relco. We are back on set in New York, and the Big Ten is back, fellas. We only had to wait 1 week. How excited are you?
I mean, it's great. It's great to have it back. What?
We only had to wait 1 week.
Well, since we were on the set again.
Okay.
We've been having to wait
Fair
forever.
enough.
But
We've been waiting forever on the Big Ten.
I thought every single week we were going to have to talk about the Big Ten opting out, but we only waited 1 week on the show. We're back.
Credit to, and I don't like them, Ohio State. Credit to Nebraska. I feel like those are the two leaders of this movement.
Iowa too.
Iowa. But you didn't hear as much, but they were one of the original 3 dissenting votes.
Mm-hmm. Sir
Yacht, Jim Harbaugh, ready to tackle people, and basically America, because once the other teams start playing, there's a lot of things you can fuck with in this country, a lot of things you can shut down. Football is not really one of them. You go up against football, and there's a lot of different reasons, but this was the end of like Michigan, if they didn't go, because it was pretty widely accepted. Michigan was the number 1 holdup. So whether it's cooler heads or they just got scared or they didn't have the political capital or whatever the case may be, we got football. I can remain a Michigan fan, so okay.
I think we need to just have this out there, remind everyone, bullying does exist. It's not a good thing. There are times when bullying online goes too far. This is one of those times. This score 1 for the bullies.
Yeah,
because basically Kevin Warren got bullied
to
bring back football.
Kevin Warren and all the presidents got bullied.
Right. They needed the bullying.
Unanimous vote, yeah.
I don't condone bullying except for when you need to bully people to bring football.
And to be honest, it's how democracies should work, because, you know, people wanted to play, and the people in power realized they were done. Like, if this didn't happen, they were done. The entire schools and all the people are going to turn against them. So good for bullying.
And the schedule now, let's talk about that real quick. Brandon, go ahead.
Brandon's really upset.
Nobody cares. You're not a Big Ten guy.
I'm not a Big Ten guy.
Let us have our moment.
But I'm a football guy.
Yeah, but
All right, but let us have a moment.
I'm
Let us
excited
have a
football
moment.
guy.
Two Big Ten
What I
guys.
wanted
It didn't feel right without the Big Ten. Pac-12 can stay the fuck where they're at.
Pac-12. They're saying, what, November?
Yeah.
Well, who cares?
It's not going to work.
too
It
late.
feels good to have this hat. It feels good to have that hat.
Yes.
And it really feels good that they didn't split up and you have 11 teams playing. I'm glad that all 14 are back.
I never thought that possibly could happen. I thought there was a chance they wouldn't play. But in my heart of heart, because like what I said, it's school suicide. That's
Right.
the end of Michigan.
It's definitely football suicide, because who's going to sign up to play for those guys?
Yes.
School.
Yes.
School. It's school suicide.
So talking about the schedule now.
Yes.
Starts October 24th. Weekend.
I think there's going to be some games on Fridays. Awesome. There's going to be a
They
lot
did games on Friday last year.
Yeah,
They're doing
but I think they're
multiple
going to have
games
to
on
fit
Fridays.
more games
Yeah.
on Fridays. There's going to be snow football.
I love
a
snow
lot
football.
of snow football
True.
because we're going to be playing into December. And then the championship Saturday, which I love. It doesn't really mean much, but it will be a full slate. The Big Ten is going to play cross east-west, 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, down the slate, football all day.
So my question there is, why are 7 playing 7?
Well, it makes no sense, but in
No,
a
it
weird,
does. Makes
beautiful
perfect
way, that will produce some of the weirdest,
Yes.
loserest,
Yes.
making
Yes.
Mac
Yes.
look like it's fucking the Super Bowl football you've ever seen.
Right.
When you have two teams that season's done, bad seasons, being
Right.
forced to play judges for an extra game. I mean, I don't know, we got 9,000 cameras. Can we get a shot of Ev?
Oh, yeah.
Probably can't.
By the
Look
way,
at this.
this guy.
Look at Ev.
Ev.
Without football, Ev doesn't exist.
He doesn't smile like that?
Ev.
I mean,
Coming for your ass.
Please.
Coming for your ass.
We're starting that
National
quick.
championship.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
Wisconsin's
we're starting
gonna. This might be. I'll say this right now, and this is getting ahead of myself.
Ev looks like a football.
This is getting way ahead of myself. Wisconsin. This might be Wisconsin's best chance ever to go to. I haven't seen the schedule yet, what the crossover is, but ever to go to the college football playoff because there's only 8 games, so there's less chance for them to fuck it up.
Well, I mean, how do you say that without seeing the schedule?
I just said I
just
have to
play-
see.
what if you
I
play-
just
gut
said I
feeling?
have to see the crossover
He's-
schedule.
Yeah, but you
Going off
can't
of
make
the
that
gut
statement without
feeling.
seeing the schedule.
I just said I have to see the crossover. I assume we're going to play everyone in the West.
Right.
Right. So that's.
That's 6 teams. So
Okay,
you can have
so
2
there's
games.
gonna be two
What if
games.
it's Ohio State and Penn State?
You're
I
still
just
gonna
said I
have
have
to
to
win
wait
the-
to see
you're
the
still gonna have
crossover.
to win the Big
I know,
Ten
Dave,
championship.
but one game. Listen, Brandon, you should be happy because this show now actually has some real teams represented here.
What?
Wisconsin,
We had
Michigan,
the SEC
Ohio
already. We
State
got
is all
A&M,
there.
Mississippi State.
We have A&M.
cowbell. I paid
Mississippi
$200
State.
for this cowbell.
It's charity case.
Honestly,
It's
I'm
charity case.
I appreciate that you recognize A&M.
No, yeah, A&M is sitting at the
What do you
table.
mean
Okay.
you paid $200
I like
for
that.
It's a $200 cowbell. That's an expensive cowbell.
That's
Why?
$200.
That's a very well-made cowbell.
That's what
This
it's
isn't
steel-
this isn't one of the cheap
it's not
Walmart
rods.
cowbells. What, you walk
I
around
see
with a
it, I
Walmart
feel it.
cowbell?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Don't you throw my fucking
You-
cowbell.
I mean-
He's definitely.
Would you like to see it? Okay.
I don't know why $200.
It's very well made.
Have you ever rang a cowbell before?
Is that a New York City 200 or a Mississippi
Well, this was
200?
personally made for
Just
me.
toss it. Just throw it off.
Don't toss money. This has got the Barstool logo. You can't throw the Barstool.
How do you know it
toss
costs
it.
$200?
That's how much he told me it costs to make it.
Oh,
After,
so
after
that-
all this budget talk, you
Kids,
thought you should tell
No
him.
fucking way.
Toss it.
No fucking
It's
way.
got a lug nut in there. That's a good lug nut. That
Oh,
could-
that's a $190 lug nut?
You know how many
Zero chances.
tractors would fall apart without something like that?
Brandon, there's zero chance that's $200.
You know what? It might. Maybe I've rounded up, but it's a great cowbell.
Who got it for you?
$29.
My cowbell guy.
It's made. It has his stuff. There's no way that's $200.
Do you have a cowbell guy?
No, why the fuck would I want a cowbell guy?
Real fans use their hands and their voice. To be
No,
heard.
not us.
I don't mind you
Unique.
have it. It's just not $200.
All right, the Big Ten is back, which means the arguing is going to continue, but we have to wait a couple weeks for that. We have to wait another week for the SEC, but let's get into,
Well, what's that?
what?
Thinking of that first weekend when you gave the date and we're basically back to almost a full slate.
Yep.
Yes.
Let's
October
fucking go.
24th,
Yeah.
it's going to be.
And it's going to be a sprint, and it's going to
Yes.
be so fucking cool.
Yeah, I think that
No-
this is
no off
the-
weeks for anybody.
Yeah, this is kind of the last weekend of a shitty slate. We're going to get more football back, and it's going to be beautiful end of October. Let's go into the High Noon weekend preview. High Noon Hard Seltzer keeps it real, just like we do. Keep this game changer on deck for home gating, watch parties, or any day drinking opportunities. Real vodka, real juice for real fans, just like us. Let's start with Wake Forest at NC State.
So you give that big intro to football and Big Ten,
And then we're going into
and then we're talking Wake Forest.
well, like
and
I
NC
said,
State.
it's kind of a shitty slate, but that's okay.
What do you want to do, Brandon?
I know.
Yeah,
Fucking game,
These are our choices.
I mean, these are our choices.
This is what we live with for one more week.
Yeah, for one more week.
Yes, SEC's coming to save us.
Better than last week.
It is.
Some bigger
Miami's
games
playing
coming
Louisville.
up.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so we'll get to that in a little bit. We have to start with the shittiest game. So Wake Forest at NC State. NC State favored by 2.5. The total at 53.5. Wake lost to Clemson last week. They didn't look terrible. Sam Hartman did a decent job. Brandon, I know you were kind of high on him going.
Yeah,
last
well,
week.
I think he's okay, but the rest of the team around him is not very good. And I don't think they look good against Clemson. Clemson allowed them to look good in the end. Clemson
They held up.
Absolutely let off the gas at the end. Clemson could have covered that number or whatever they wanted. They were up, I think, 31-0. They were up big early.
Who's the backup for Clemson?
Backup for
brought in?
Clemson is DJ Ugalele.
Everyone was pumped about him, right?
Yeah, he's a freshman.
Yeah.
He's a 5-star freshman from California. He's going to be fantastic. They have another great freshman. But Wake Forest, I don't think looked that good. Clemson just let them look good. I think NC State covers the number. I don't know a whole lot about NC State,
haven't
but I
played
know
yet.
they were 4-8 last year, and they got a lot coming back from a building team last year.
5-star recruit from California, quarterback going to Wake Forest.
No.
Clemson.
Clemson.
Oh,
Behind Trevor
yeah,
Lawrence.
that makes
Behind
sense.
Trevor
Yeah.
Lawrence. Yeah.
I was like, I was calling bullshit on that.
Right.
It's like,
So Dave and I just did the pick'em, and I do think this is the week where you can catch some teams where if they've played live action, then they're playing against a team that has not played yet. You get a little bit of a bonus. So I'm going to take the points here in Wake Forest. Even though they got smashed by Clemson, having that live action, having that feel of a game, it matters. NC State,
And they sat at home just watching everybody else play.
abbreviated season or off season.
who's the head coach at NC State?
Dude, oh fuck! I always just think it's what's his name?
Chuck Amato?
Chuck Amato
Yeah.
with the sunglasses.
There's a motto, and then wasn't the BC coach there or the
Fazio?
UConn?
Dave Doran?
No, UConn.
There's Dave Doran there
Dave
now.
Doran?
Went to Maryland.
Dave Doran.
NC State is just.
NC State is
always-
Maryland South.
Well, no,
I think-
NC State had a period where they were dangerous.
Well, they also produced.
Great quarterbacks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a difference
Oh.
there.
You're calling. I know. I obviously
Phillip
got
Rivers is a great
but you're-
quarterback.
Mike
what-
Glennon.
Can you say? I thought you said quarterbacks.
Mike
Russell
Glennon.
Wilson.
Well, that's in Wisconsin. Mike
Russell
Glennon.
Wilson.
Yeah, I
Mike
thought Glenn. That's
Kobe
what it was.
Brissett.
Russell Wilson.
Brissett.
Wisconsin.
Oh, Brissett. I forgot about Brissett.
Yes, they gave Clemson
Yeah.
Quarterbacks.
Make
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
you watch the S. Dave, who are you taking?
I mean, I'll take. I don't know. I'll take Wake. I don't know.
That's just a coin flip right in your mind just now.
The good news is,
I
mean,
absolutely know. I know nothing about NC State. I know this. I like when NC State's dangerous, and they have been dangerous because It is they have the same vibe somehow to me in college football as they do in college basketball.
Yes.
Like they're not good, but they're dangerous.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they'll catch somebody at home, and it's like kind of a crazy environment.
Well, they would
I don't
catch
think
Florida
anyone
State.
goes to school.
Yep.
But I have no idea if NC State has anything in football, but they can be dangerous.
The greatest NC State moment in the last 5-10 years is that fat guy holding onto the pole.
Yes.
where he's
That's
like,
right.
Yeah.
Pack on
What
his,
year was
on
that?
his chest. It's
been a while.
He's just pumped up.
NC State, they're dangerous. They're never good, but they're dangerous, exactly like they are in college hoops.
Yeah, and then once you realize they're dangerous, they are not dangerous.
Correct.
They lose their
Once-
danger
yeah.
As soon as
immediately.
you think
Sure.
they're dangerous, they suck.
They have some of the best lighting for both sports. At night, it's very
Great logo, great colors.
whoever's doing their stuff, we should get them instead of Pete with all his fucking equipment.
We're complimenting everything about NC State except for the current football.
Well, I'm saying I don't think they're
I don't know
they're
about the
dangerous.
current
You're right, but I know nothing about
They
them.
haven't played it. So just to make sure you are taking Wake Forest.
Correct.
Are you
I'm taking Wake Forest
Are
as
you
well.
implying that?
Yep. Oh, I said it. I'm
I
saying
think we
as
were
well.
on
I'm
as
just
well
making
watch
sure.
there.
Are you implying that
Double checking.
colors and logo and like ambiance doesn't matter?
Of course it does.
I'm implying that while they matter, we're not actually talking about what's
They
taking
matter.
the field between the
No,
white
they
lines
matter.
this Saturday.
They matter.
They matter until they don't. We'll see after next week. Is that okay?
Yeah, Dave Doreen.
Yeah.
Who was there?
Dork.
I think they definitely had the BC
I feel like he's been
coach.
there for like 7 years.
No, they had the BC coach.
All right. Well, while you're looking that up, let's go to the next game. Tulsa at number 11, Oklahoma State. This game was postponed last week because of the COVID situation. Oklahoma State favored by 23. The total at 66. Oklahoma State had a lot of drama in the offseason. Chuba Hubbard being one of the best backs in the country. We didn't know if he was going to play. Mike Gundy got it on board. Dan, what do you think?
I'm going to take Tulsa here, even though Tulsa as a school, it feels like exists just to get the shit kicked out of them by Oklahoma State and Oklahoma every September. This is the first game I've looked at because there's been some conference games. This is the first game I've looked at where I've been like, oh, this feels like college football. This feels like September 9th, way too, like it's 100 degrees in Oklahoma and Tulsa's going to get like smacked all around the field. Even with that said, I'm going to take Tulsa. Plus 23. And the over.
I love Oklahoma State's offense. Spencer Sanders, it was very good last year. Tylan Wallace coming back, one of the best receivers. Chuba Hubbard is the best running back in the country.
I like to say Chuba.
It's Chuba, though.
I know, but I like to say Chuba.
Okay, cool.
I'm
cool.
just
I mean, it is
what I
spelled.
like.
Chuba
it is
Hubbard
spelled
is the
Chuba.
And I like to say Chuba Hubbard.
It's Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, but Chuba Hubbard sounds better.
And I'm sure that's going to be fun for you. He's the best running back in the country. Over 66 here. They're going to score a lot of points all year. I'm not sure about their defense, but their offense is going to be elite. Over 66.
See, this is a numbers game. Take Tulsa and the over. You can't lose both.
I'm going to go with Oak State.
You can't.
I have been researching that Tom O'Brien was the BC coach who was
Yes.
prior. But this Dave Doreen, not to go back, I'm switching my pick to NC State. I mean, he's like 600 at NC State. They are exactly who I thought they are. They are a dangerously bad team.
They had a rough year last year, but he's been good there.
Yeah, correct. So I'm going
I
to take
just
NC
know NC State. There was a Thursday night game that Quiggs told me that I should take NC State.
Oh my God, I
It
had that
sucked.
game.
Yes, remember that? He was like, "This is
I mean,
our
they were
this is our
really-
State. I
game."
stole his pylon.
Yes.
Who was
yes.
that? They were-
Yes.
That was a pylon
Yes.
game.
That's in my head. I will
I think
not
it was.
take.
I think it was against Wake Forest too.
There we go.
That was a pylon.
That's
I
why that's
stole.
why I'm taking
He
Wake
has that signed Mike Allstar
Yep.
pylon. I
Yep.
stole it.
It was-
I didn't steal it. I took it as
just-
punishment because he, out of the blue, guaranteed that game. That's correct.
Yes, and he was sitting. I was watching the game with him, and I just kept on saying Quiggs, and he just kept on saying not,
Not
good.
over, but not over. He also was like,
Yeah.
it's not over. It's not over. It was over from the jump.
They were down 14. with
That's
like
the
2
guarantee
seconds
game you guys kept telling me about last year.
Yeah.
When I
You didn't
purposely
actually, you did it.
when I
You did
purposely
use-
guaranteed a game like an idiot, y'all referenced that
well,
game.
you use guarantee like
Flippantly.
Yes, correct.
Throwing it around.
Yeah, that is right. I forgot about Quiggs, but I'm sticking with NC State. That was a bad year. I'm going to take NC State.
So you're switching that pick. What about
Right.
Tulsa at
I'm
Oklahoma
going to
State?
take Oak State. I think Oak State murders them.
Okay. I'm going to take Oklahoma State as well. I'm going to double check your pick every single time.
So I'm the only one on
you
Tulsa.
mean to
I
say as
love
well?
that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's smart.
Yeah, I know. I learned my lesson. The next game we're going to talk about South Florida at number 7, Notre Dame. Notre Dame favored by 26, the total at 48.5. Last week, Notre Dame kind of struggled a little bit. Ian Book didn't look great. South Florida with a first-year head coach and Jeff Scott, who was at Clemson as the offensive coordinator. Dave, what did you think of Notre Dame last week?
The only takeaway, I bet on Duke that game. The only takeaway I had from Notre Dame things crashing. That's what happens when we're in a hallway. The only takeaway, and I'm going to say this to Notre Dame, and Dan, we talked about briefly, and I can't do a direct, straight line cause-effect thing right here, but there was something about watching Notre Dame football at 2:30 when I'm like the Big Ten, be like, you're serious? We're not playing, and we get the Notre Dame fight song and the band, and I'm watching the Irish Tarico.
The fans were going crazy.
Football's back, and we're sitting in silence, and if I can't prove it, but I think Notre Dame getting out there and being one of the premier programs is like, all right, wake up. We're playing football this year.
Yep.
So
It's
Right there in Big Ten country, too.
It's
Correct,
something
yes.
about Notre Dame in like mid to late September that is when they have the aerial of Notre Dame Stadium and Touchdown Jesus and Mike Tirico and the NBC music. That is the coming of fall.
Correct, and that's also the set that Pete thinks we're trying to run here with that
Right.
intro, even though we're in a closet. But yeah, that I couldn't stomach. Like, we're going to see snow falling and Notre Dame playing football in winter, and like Michigan's that you can't have it. So thank you. I'm going to take Notre Dame as a thank you here.
All right, I'm taking the under. By the way, did you guys see? We should have put it in the clips. Did you see the Duke guy, all-time tackle at the goal line, did a flex as Notre Dame scored behind him?
Yes.
It was
Nick
Very
Young, the
good.
Swaggy
incredible.
P.
Yes, incredible.
So you're not going to touch the line, though?
No, I'm going to take the under.
Okay.
I think the under is a good bet with Notre Dame this year because they
Thank
got a
you.
great defense. But I'm going to take South Florida here because Notre Dame is going to be like an early 90s Alabama team. They're not going to score a lot of points, but they're going to win a whole lot of games. You're going to look up, they're going to be 10-0 or 9-1 later this season, but they're not going to score a lot because Ian Book's not that good. South Florida covers the number. It's 26. That's way too many. Notre Dame wins.
Who was the
game.
quarterback at Alabama in the early 90s?
So that one would have been Jay Barker. Jay Barker, I believe, went
you're going
something
way back.
like
I have no
41
idea
5.
what- I
They
have
won the
no
92
idea
national
what-
championship, and they had the great defense, bad offense.
Is that when they won the Sugar Bowl against Miami?
Miami 34-13. They did have a
the
good
guy
offense.
that
that time.
ran down the
George
wide receiver.
Teague.
Yeah. That was almost Alabama's arrival of like, we're faster than you.
Arrival back from they had taken some time off, but that was their arrival under Gene Stallings.
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
Before we move on, you were really high on Notre Dame last week. Where are we?
I'm very high on Notre
Still.
Dame. I think Notre Dame can win the ACC. I think Notre Dame can beat Clemson. Their defense is very salty. They're not going to ever look good. They're not going to ever look sexy this year because the offense isn't good enough, but they are going to keep teams low.
That was the other game I saw on the schedule with the ACC. It's like, we're going to have Notre Dame Clemson and like no football. It just can't happen. It didn't happen, thank God.
I'm going to take South Florida, but speaking of no games, the Pac-12 still not playing. I don't know if they're going to, but that didn't stop Caleb from going to Arizona State. Here's concussion protocol.
What's better than being with the boys?
Nothing.
Then why are you dating somebody?
Hanging out with the boys is an American privilege, pastime, and right. It's a gift given directly by God to young men who are devout to the principles of online gameplay, pounding nooners, and roughhousing. There are only two ways to ruin this testosterone-fueled utopia. One is a group arrest where everyone has to go to separate jails, and the other has just been committed by this young man at Arizona State University. This is Drew Ponton, and he just got a girlfriend. And ever since, nothing has been the same.
Answer this question with a yes or no. Is he as cool today as he used to be?
No.
No.
Really?
Very, very from the heart, no.
When I see Drew, it's not just Drew. It's them together. He's not a me anymore, he's a we.
Drew's romantic entanglement wasn't just a fling. According to him, she could be the one.
Are you in love?
I'd say so, yes.
What is it? What is that?
It's like that warm and fuzzy feeling, in the stomach. Shoots up your body and it's all the only one you want to be with.
It's like acid reflux.
Exactly.
While on paper love is one of life's greatest accomplishments, the reality is this strong emotion can melt men into shells of their former self.
I love you so much, Smoochie.
For this reason, I sat down with Drew's boys to get to the bottom of this tragic circumstance.
What got into his head?
She did.
How?
Constant fucking.
Constant fucking is a condition that is known to rearrange young men's priorities.
What is it like with the boys now?
So I'm going to pause for a second because she hangs out with the boy. She's like a boy, pretty much. So I'm trying to find out something to say.
Your girlfriend's a boy.
She is a boy.
She's one of the boys.
She's one of the boys.
Drew claimed his new girlfriend was one of the boys. However, did the boys agree?
She ain't one of the boys. Plain and simple,
No.
she ain't.
She's
one.
there. She's in the picture. She's not all in tune with everything we're doing. You know, we got high aspects, and she's just there.
What are high aspects?
You gonna say expectations?
As high as the boys' aspects were, it's likely that Drew's new girlfriend's aspects were even higher.
Do you like his friends?
Yes, I love his friends. They're like my best friends too.
Unfortunately, that is exactly what all girlfriends say who hate their boyfriend's friends. The real question was, how had all of this changed Drew?
Do you still picture him as the same guy?
A little bit. We see flashes every now and then of how he used to be, you know, whenever he gets a little drunk or whatever. But still see him as the same guy, just kind of a softer version, you know.
This softness had even started to spill into his domestic life.
Him and his girl got a cat together.
They did what?
They bought a cat.
Traded from the dog side to the cat side.
Ain't no dog. Pussy side.
Wait, so he had a dog and he got a girlfriend and then he sold his dog?
He
Him
switched
and his
sides.
girlfriend got a cat together.
Yeah, the dog, we don't know about the whereabouts anymore.
Which begged the question,
Yeah.
You think she killed his dog?
Drew's homies had seen enough and were ready to call for change.
If you could give him any advice and on a real level, what advice would you give him?
Quit simping.
Simpin' is not a phrase you throw around lightly.
What is a simp?
It's just somebody that loses touch with reality in terms of the boys.
It's like for just the guy for your girlfriend. Is that what we're talking about?
Your friend said that you were a simp. Is that true?
You could say that, yeah. Same with simp.
Why?
Just want to treat her right.
The way he said it almost made it sound good. But was it?
It's not good to be a simp.
And your friend's a simp.
Yeah. Big simp.
Unfortunately, the main symptom of simping is seeming like you fell off the face of planet Earth.
We've been going out for the past like 3 weeks and I haven't seen him once. Text him every day, I don't get a response. At least text me back and say you want to hang out or give me some reason why you're not coming out. That's all I really need.
Zach hit the head on the nail with that one. We just want to hang out with you, man. We miss you, bro.
Zach truly did hit the head on the nail. The homies were heartbroken.
Do you think that you broke your homies' hearts?
If I did, that hurts me to admit, but I hope not.
They said you did.
When push comes to shove, Drew's new girlfriend had real life consequences.
Is it almost like he died?
He's dead.
It's like you're friends.
He's 6 feet under right now.
It's like you're friends with a dead person.
Yeah. I just get to see him, and it's like the conversations I have with him are like, oh, hey, what'd you do today? Oh, I hung out with her. I did this with her. You should check this place out. We went to a really good place. And I'm like, well, what the fuck have you done without her?
Drew's lack of time bonding with the bros has bred true animosity within his inner circle. However, was their bubbling anger a superficial cover for a wound much deeper?
What's the hardest part about it?
I've been looking for someone before, and it's just kind of hard to find that. And yeah, I might be slightly jealous, but I feel like at this point, it's kind of hard to find that. I don't really know what to do about it.
Do you ever want to be in love?
Yeah. I do want love. Who doesn't want love? Everyone wants someone to love them.
If anyone could relate to that sentiment, it would be Drew. But would he be okay with his old friends following in his footsteps?
What would it make you feel like inside if your boys found love? If they really found purposeful connections with other human beings?
I'd be very happy for him. I'd tell them, take a shot, throw out the fishing line and just see who bites. And if they do, see what happens. Love is love. You know when you know.
You know when you know. While Drew's boys might not yet know what their romantic future holds, they do know that their chance at love is still very much alive.
At this place where we're at right now, it's a little hard to find love, I would say. We find lust often for love. I think that's gonna come eventually. I think only time can tell.
And in the meantime, they'll try to look on the bright side.
Is she at least hot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least she's hot. So in college, is it really like that whenever like the first of the boys gets a girlfriend? Are they feel
Yeah,
like he's
that
all
was
simping?
pretty spot on, like a dead man.
And how long is he dead? Forever? What if they break up?
Till they break up.
Yeah.
That's when he comes back to life.
So what happens when the
funny.
first guy gets married?
He's gone. He's the first one to transition into the next phase of life where everybody's dead.
Married, they're totally different because you're older. It's like everyone's in relationships.
Right, he's the first one to phase into that phase of life where you're all different.
Yeah, there's always like that one friend who's got married first, kids first.
Yeah.
Just keep moving the chain.
the trailblazer.
All right, well, dead man walking over there. Let's go back into the High Noon Weekend Preview Part 2. We're going to go to number 14, UCF at Georgia Tech. UCF is favored by 7.5. Georgia Tech came out last week, beat Florida State with a true freshman in Jeff Sims. Mackenzie Milton's still out for UCF. We don't know when he's going to play, but UCF being 14 in the country, Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, so they're a good team, and this is going to be just a huge letdown spot for Georgia Tech. It was great that they went, and it was great that they beat Florida State. Florida State
Like I predicted.
You did.
You did predict that.
Credit to you.
It's true.
So Florida State is a different animal than UCF. UCF is up and running. Mike Norvell is trying to get Florida State up and running. He's trying to get whatever is ailing that program out of the program and fix it. UCF is running pretty good. I think UCF wins and wins comfortably at Georgia Tech.
Dave, you were right about Florida State.
Yeah, I said take a money line that they win. It was 12.5, so brilliant. And I like them again this week. UCF better than Florida State, but I think Georgia Tech, I like that coach. I see absolutely no letdown. First home game of the season. I don't see a letdown when you're playing your first home game. And
Yeah,
I
but
know
first
there's
home
no
game with
crowd.
no fans.
Doesn't matter. Does not matter. You're on campus. You're coming off a big win. This guy gets these kids ready to go. They're ready to go when they're down 70 at Clemson at the fourth quarter. They will be ready to play. I like the quarterback. I think Georgia Tech can win this game and have 2 underdog money line wins.
Dan, what do you think about Georgia Tech?
I like Georgia Tech as well. There is the letdown spot element, but back to what I said about NC State and Wake Forest, UCF not playing last week, I think that neutralizes it because Georgia Tech has had live reps. They've been in a game. So that's a wash to me, and I'll take the points.
And let me just say something. Can I say something?
Please.
Yeah, please.
say
About
something.
letdown.
Please.
You generally don't have letdowns when you're playing a ranked team. Like you have letdowns when you're playing somebody maybe that you should look past or for
Like if
granted.
you're ranked. and
Yeah,
they're
but
not,
when
yeah.
you're the underdog and you have Florida State wasn't ranked, right?
They were not.
No.
So you have a ranked team coming in. You go 2-0. You're a top 15 team suddenly. Letdown doesn't play in here.
That's fine, but I also don't think the home field is going to play in here because, yes, you are at home, but you don't have the normal emotion that you would have otherwise.
I disagree.
Deion Sanders did tell us last week that doesn't matter.
Well, he said a little
It's on
differently.
a different show.
Yeah, no, he
Doesn't count here.
No, I don't.
He
yeah.
said the crowd doesn't matter.
Well, he was talking NFL, but being home, I do think that's going to matter here.
What?
What? No, you were very upset that Kayce brought up the Pro Football Show.
No, I wasn't. I
just was
disagree with the point that was brought over.
3 people.
She
just
crossed over.
I think.
I was just using the knowledge from a
I'm bigger
former
than
football
Deion.
player.
I think it matters. Well, he's an idiot in that regard, but I think it matters.
Sorry, Brandon.
A lot more.
Oh, Deion.
Like you're walking around campus and people are being like, go
Sucking
get
your
this
dick.
thing. Right? Yeah. No. If Georgia Tech doesn't cover, it won't be because they had a letdown.
And we were talking about last week, a bunch of people thinking they would still have the hangover from not running the triple option. That's just dead, right?
Well, they didn't.
Yeah, their offense wasn't great. Yeah, it's still a work in progress.
I don't know how long because it's a freshman quarterback, so that's a
very good,
transition.
though.
That's a
He is good.
transition
He is good.
anyway. So it's not like that guy ever ran the triple option.
Right,
anyway.
but I'm saying that was like the whole narrative going into it.
It was.
that
I
they
think you
I'd
can
say
put
it
that to
matters
bed.
more offensive linemen and that. I mean, I'd have to look at the roster.
And receivers.
Which I'm not going to do.
Yeah.
Receivers is the
just
big
pretend
change.
like it, yeah. And then for UCF, do you think Mackenzie Milton coming back? I mean, I know it's several weeks. Do you think that makes a difference for them this season?
I don't think so. I think they're good otherwise.
With Dylan
They're
Gabriel?
good. Mackenzie Milton was a good player when he was playing, but this is a sophomore from, I believe, the same hometown in Hawaii. He's very good. I'm not sure Mackenzie Milton is going to come back and play.
They have two
not gonna have a
guys,
spot.
two quarterbacks from the same hometown in Hawaii.
Correct.
Suspect.
Mackenzie Milton also almost had to have his leg amputated. Maybe
Yeah,
we
he
should
was
just-
real bad off.
Yeah, real bad. I'm going to take Georgia Tech just because I thought they might be the worst team in the conference, and I was clearly very wrong, so I'm not going to bet against them twice back to back. Let's go to the only ranked versus ranked game of the week. Brandon, I know you're very excited to talk about this because you stepped all over the beginning of the show. Number 17, Miami at number... Oh, yeah.
Did I step over the beginning of the show?
Yeah, you
Do you remember the beginning of the show?
You talked about how... No, you talked about how bad the slate was as soon as I started talking about the preview.
That wasn't the beginning of the show. That was.
Yeah, I talked about the high noon weekend preview, and you didn't even let me introduce the games.
Why are you breathing like that? What is this? All right.
It was Brandon's fault. Number 17, Miami at number 18, Louisville. Louisville favored by 2.5. The total at 64.5. Both teams won last week. The De'Ara King era is in full play. Dave, what do you think about this game?
I like Louisville. I don't think Miami looked good. I don't think King looked good last week. It is a little bit strange, and we'll have this theme like Louisville at home at night. That's probably worth 7 points. Like, I don't know what the spread would be with fans.
7 points seems a lot.
I'd say it'd be like 4.5, maybe.
Yeah, Miami did win 31-14 against UAB.
I think they look better than people think. They had over 500 yards against UAB. UAB a pretty good defense. I think they look better than people think.
I watched that entire game. De'Ara King does add that element to the Miami offense that they've been missing, where he makes plays with his feet. Like, he had a few times in that game where everything broke down and he was able to get a first down. And they just haven't had that in a while, it feels like. So I do like that aspect. I'm taking Louisville.
Miami, let's again, apologies, Danny Boy Kane. They've been awful for quite a while now. So they get the quarterback. I like the quarterback. I like him. I do. But they stink.
Stink is a strong word.
Well, I said it.
Stink is a strong word. I'm saying that. Stink is a strong word for them.
Do you think they've stunk the last 5 years?
I think they were a 6-6 team last year for Miami standards. That absolutely
But
stink.
They beat Notre Dame in that game.
They're losing to Florida Atlantics and shit. I don't know if somebody like them.
But
They had a
Miami
really
standards,
bad year.
stink.
They had a really bad year
But
last
like Jeff Collins
But
at
not
Georgia
just
Tech,
last year, a couple years.
they're in year 2 of a head coach. And I think stinking in year 1 of a head coach and year 2 are totally different things. I think they're a lot better this year.
So you like Manny Diaz?
I like Manny Diaz as a coach. I like him a lot. But I do think Louisville wins. Louisville's one of my favorite teams this year. They got a great quarterback, great receiver, great running back. They can come at you in all different waves. They're going to cover this number. I do think it probably stays under because Miami's got a pretty good defense. Louisville's got a pretty good defense. Stays under, but Louisville covers the number.
You're a big Tutu Atwell fan, right?
Big Tutu Atwell fan. Big Mikhail Cunningham is the quarterback at Louisville. He is also very good with his feet.
I like it.
Yeah, I feel the same way about Miami. I don't think it was just a quarterback problem, so I'm going to take Louisville as well.
They have, Miami now has the touchdown knuckles rings.
Oh, they moved past the chain?
Yeah.
No. They have something for offense. Hate it.
Yeah.
Hate
But the
it.
But they have a
chain's still
turnover
there.
thing
They
too,
have the
right?
turnover chain,
Yeah.
but they have pay dirt. We got to pull it up. It's terrible. It's terrible.
With the chain.
Stick
They-
with the
they-
chain.
They
Keep it.
invented the turnover thing that people ran wild with, and now everyone is crazy. I mean, it's spiraled out of control.
There's only one other school that I like what they do. They do the club.
The
Who does
touchdown
that?
rings?
No. They get
Somebody do
club.
a turnover suit a couple of weeks ago?
No,
or the
someone
suit
does the
jacket?
club.
I know who you're
Finds
talking about.
that. So they like
Are
have
you
bottle
talking-
service.
You're talking
Yeah,
like
it's
a
like
like
lasers.
a
Yeah, they
club
sit down.
or
No, like
a party?
go
Oh,
to
it
the
turns
DJ
into a
club.
G-
Yeah,
yeah,
they
like-
bring a bottle service over.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Was that UAB? It was a team that's already played this year.
It might have been UAB. Yeah, whatever it is, that one I like. Everything else sucks.
And by the way, Miami does have the touchdown rings.
Was it? SMU, that's
Thank you,
right.
Spider.
SMU does
Thank
the
you,
club,
Spider.
and it fits with SMU. Death penalty.
Yeah, Pony
going to the
Express.
club. Yeah.
All right, it's time for One Blade Trivia with Brandon Walker. Phillips Norelco One Blade is the one tool that will let you trim, edge, and shave any length of facial hair. Forget about using multiple tools. One Blade does it all. Your style made simple. Phillips Norelco One Blade. It was ruined last week. We're going to keep trying to ruin it, boys? You guys are. I'm not.
No, I
going to.
won't.
Okay, so Dan's going to keep trying to ruin it.
I won't.
Big Ev was the ruiner last week. He
Well,
was the chief
they ruined
ruiner.
3 different questions.
And-
I will never ruin it for you, but they did.
In honor of the Big Ten coming back,
Okay.
I will tell you right now that these are all Big Ten questions.
So they're going to ruin all of them.
First of all, shout out to Dalton Burkhart from Gulf Shores, Alabama, who told me that Rex Grossman finished second in the Heisman race. He won
Rex
the
Grossman.
merch pack from One Blade and Barstool. So, question number 1. The Greasy Breeze Big Ten Quarterback of the Year award has gone to an Ohio State quarterback 7 of the last 8 seasons. Who is the only non-Ohio State quarterback to win it?
Wait.
That's a good-ass question.
He's so proud of him.
7 out of the last
7 out of the last 8 years, the Big Ten quarterback of the year has gone to an Ohio State quarterback. Braxton Miller did it twice. J.T. Barrett did it twice. But one time, it has been a non-Ohio State quarterback in the last 8 years.
And it's the last 8 years.
Who is it? Yep.
You're a little too cocky too early. I'm gonna.
Well,
that's a
nobody's
premature
saying a
celebration.
fucking thing. Nobody's saying anything.
Well, they usually don't come right off the top.
I have no desire to beat this.
I feel like you do. If you had the answer, you would.
I mean, I think about it. I have no problem not spoiling these. I don't know the answer.
If you knew the answer, would you spoil it?
No.
I would.
I'd never get right. I'm not good at trivia.
I would. I'm trying to think. Like, who's?
All right. That is our question.
No, come on. We got to do a couple. Or at least give us the backups. Keep that question and give us the backups. That's fair, right?
That's the question.
He's only preparing
Keep
3.
that question.
Okay.
It's not Connor Cook, is it?
Yeah, nice.
Did he?
Nice.
I looked at nothing.
Did he look that up?
Look at that footage.
You can see him, Dave.
Remember when Connor
Look at
Cook
that
big
footage.
timed?
Because they made the playoff. I was thinking
That
of what teams
reaction
are good.
when you do this, is that genuine? Like
Oh,
you're
yeah.
that mad that you give that big of a fuck?
Yeah, kind of.
Good job.
Or you just like being theatrical?
No, I don't like being theatrical.
I feel like you're being
I
theatrical.
wanted to win. Oh, are we judging people on being theatrical
It's
now?
just you care that much. You like have
What am I? Are you looking in a mirror right now? What is happening?
We do this song and dance every week where we go through 1, 2 to the third, and you get that upset.
I just thought that was a proper
Like
reaction.
that's what do they call it? A Razzie?
We're doing Razzies?
Razzies?
Oh, yeah.
You want to give him a Razzie award?
Isn't that the bad movie award?
That's the bad acting award.
That's the bad movie award.
Bad acting.
Good job, Big
Like
Ev.
Brandon
nobody's
has
that
one.
mad that you're
Good job,
like,
Big Ev.
fuck! Like because your trivia
It wasn't
question
that
got-
much.
Like your trivia question got spoiled. Like come on.
Should we just keep
All right,
track of the
question
Razzie
two.
award?
Question number 2.
Question number 2, Brandon, please.
Since 2000, one defensive player has won the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year award twice. Who was it?
I don't know when he played, but it's got to be Katzenberg.
No, I think it's.
He was late 90s.
I just liked him.
So,
Leonidas.
Okay, question number 3.
Good. Almost the same guy.
Yeah, that's you got my brain going. I was like, it's got to be an Ohio State
What?
linebacker.
Fuck.
Did I just get it?
No,
you
it's
got it.
Leonidas.
Welcome to the program, Big Ev.
The only reason Dave triggered that, and then also just watching his dad, the wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Road Warrior Animal.
Road Warrior. Yeah.
Last question. This is all I have. Hashtag One Blade Trivia. Who is the last Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year not from Ohio State or Penn State?
That's Melvin Gordon.
Okay. That is absolutely Melvin
Ran
Gordon.
for 500 yards against Nebraska.
One might have been too easy.
No, it was fucking awesome.
Who finished 8th in the Heisman Trophy race in 2014? That is your question. That is your question.
So, deja vu, we do this thing. You do the song and dance. How
Okay.
your life is ruined, and we
We're
move.
calling that out. We're doing that.
Oh,
We're
this
doing
is
that.
This is.
What's the actual
Are
trivia
you
question?
auditing the Barstool content here?
He just did it.
That was the thing. That's what we
I mean,
do.
you had to have known I was going to get Melvin Gordon.
That's fine. I'm playing the hits. Whatever. I enjoyed it last week. I did it again.
Okay.
Hashtag one.
I like it.
trivia.
I like your passion.
Thank you.
I love your passion.
All right, Big Ev, let's go to the viral moments of the week. Please save Brandon right now.
All right, the first viral moment of the week is this guy on Charlotte, the 49ers, just losing his mind pregame. And this is what I think Dave was saying about people like,
Yes.
you're still hyped for these games, no matter if there's fans, no matter what. Look at this guy.
That was awesome.
So awesome.
These guys are fired up.
What's he even doing?
He just can't contain his excitement.
That's football. Football's back. That's one of my favorite highlights of the decade. I needed that.
Moment number 2, Big Ev.
Moment number 2, potentially a gambling, I guess, nightmare or a blessing, depending on what side you're on. Pitt was up 42-0 at half. The coaches both mutually agreed to play 10-minute quarters the rest of the game. The spread was anywhere between 24.5 to even got up to 30.5 before the game. And the total was 48.5. It ended 55.5. All bets were void.
I didn't know mercy rule existed in college football.
Well,
So
it
is
really
this
doesn't. They agreed upon it.
Is this
But
a
I mean,
coronavirus thing now that we're going to be implementing?
That
this?
has nothing to do with
Bullshit.
anything.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
just got to play 55 minutes.
Yeah, there's got to be federal investigation.
That's bullshit.
Did it screw you guys over?
I didn't touch it. No. It did.
yeah.
You?
Pitt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough.
All right,
bullshit.
moment number 3.
Moment number 3, I know everyone on the set saw this. The unit punter from Georgia Tech.
Oh, yeah.
Beast.
So
this
sick.
fucking guy. He's just wearing shorts.
Is that just a teacher?
Listen, there was a
I like he's the fat kid they had to make a different uniform for. Like they had to stitch together a different uniform.
Yeah, he's a 12-year-old that outgrew every other 12.
Right. Unbelievable.
Moment number 4.
Moment number 4, my lock last week, Coastal Carolina smashing the Rock Chalk after the game. I was trying to look it up, I couldn't find that Kansas paid them both years to just get smacked around by Coastal.
And Kansas is just
Told you,
terrible.
be careful about. I'm worried about Les.
Yeah, that again, football back, it's one of those things. I always love celebrations like that because there wasn't much going on really there, but they went bananas. And again, don't say football doesn't matter. It matters. And we're back. And those are the moments that I know the Big Ten watching, like, what, we going to sit on the sideline here? So good pick, by the way, Ev.
Thank you.
The Chanticleers.
And for the second time, speaking of football not being back, we're going to go back to Arizona State. Caleb sat down with head coach Herm Edwards.
Okay, Coach. 2020 has been an odd year, to say the least, but it's an even year. How have you managed the confusing times here in Tempe?
Well, I think it starts with communication, how you communicate to your coaching staff as well as to your football team. And we've all been on the same wavelength when it comes to communication. When we got postponed, the players were well aware of the schedule that was going to take place until we get to start back up again. And there's some signs saying that we could start back up.
Right. There's a lot of sports. All sports are being affected by this. And if you kind of watch and you see how other sports have handled it, maybe most notably NASCAR, who went to virtual racing, basically a video game, and they did it through that avenue. Do you think that's a direction the Pac-12 could head if they don't want to play on the field?
Well, I think we're actually going to play. Yeah.
Do you think that, obviously, it seems like the Big Ten's making a decision, which it has to have some type of effect on the Pac-12. You said you don't think there's going to be any movement to video games. Am I correct in saying that?
No, we're not. The only video game we're playing right now, we got a Madden tournament going on with the whole team.
Okay, but you don't think that's the Pac-12 will be played online on NCAA, a recent version?
No, I think we're actually going to play on the grass.
Okay. Now, with that being said, what are your thoughts on a bubble, especially knowing bubbles always pop?
Well, I tell you what, according to what kind of bubble you get into now. I mean, there's different kind of bubbles. Hard
Economic
bubbles,
bubbles.
Hey.
We like the hard bubble.
What is a hard bubble, Coach? What is a hard bubble?
A hard bubble is a mindset. That's what a hard bubble is.
How can I get into the hard bubble myself?
Looks like you're doing a pretty good job of that already.
I'm locked in, Coach. I'm locked in. A lot of people are saying with the social distancing protocols, the only teams that should be able to play are teams that run the spread.
Whoa, how about that?
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, last time I checked, this sport in general is not a social distancing sport.
Right, which is confusing in these times. You got to social distance, but then you have to tackle. Is it insensitive to run the power I?
No, and I think teams that run the ball right now early are going to win a lot of games.
There's 2020, like we said earlier, it's been a weird year. 2020 has been a bizarre, weird year. What's the weirdest thing that's happened, in your opinion, this year?
Oh, in 2020?
Including, you have to think, on a real and serious note, the government has confirmed aliens twice this year.
Really? That's interesting. They're finally fessing up to that, huh?
Well, they've confirmed that the spacecrafts were not from this Earth, and that I'm not kidding, Coach. I know it sounds like I'm kidding.
I'm not saying you are. I'm not. Hey, look here.
How do you talk to your players about aliens?
We have some players sometimes that, you know, they walk in here when they don't comb their hair and do what's necessary to prepare themselves in the morning. They look like aliens sometimes. That's okay. That's what a football team looks like, right?
Coach, you are someone, if we did have contact with the aliens, that I think a lot of people could agree would be a good representative of the human race to talk to them. What would you say to the aliens? And how would you promote the game of football?
I would ask them. I would ask them about that. Do you think about this game? Can you give me some tips?
Right.
How we can improve? Do you?
Coach, we might have to cut that. I don't want to get you in trouble with the NCAA.
Well, just maybe we can recruit one of them.
Hey, as long as he's eligible, we play by the playbook. I don't see a problem.
Exactly right. As long as he's eligible.
Coach, we appreciate you joining us. We wish you the best. We hope that you get to play real football on the field, how it should be. If you do play, please play in Heisman mode. Don't be a girl about it. Coach, we wish you the best.
Thank you, my brother. God bless
you. God bless you.
I know that no one cares about the Pac-12, but we need Herm back on the field this year. He's phenomenal.
I love her.
Leave it on the grass. Leave it on the grass. That will get me to bet Arizona State in any big game when he says leave it on the grass.
Leave it on the grass. Leave it on the grass, man. Leave it on the grass. Leave it on the grass.
I love
USC. I mean, USC would be nice.
So
I'd like to see Oregon.
USC, Oregon.
Don't care as much about Oregon, but USC that fight's on.
We talked a little bit about it, but do you think they're going to come back or just no? They're
They're going to try, I think. I honestly think they'll try.
If they don't come back till November, what's the point?
But the problem,
they're so stupid.
And they have a different problem at hand because Big Ten was more just getting all the ADs and presidents in line. This is now politics, which is crazy.
I think one team yesterday they're lifting weights. I think it's USC lifting weights in tents because they can't go into their locker room. They're not legally allowed in their locker room.
It's crazy.
But Arizona and Arizona State couldn't go elsewhere, right? Like the Big Ten tried?
I mean, who's going to take them?
Yeah.
Anybody? All
This
right.
is why we need some rich dude to
I
show
know.
up and be like
Jeff
bubble time.
Bezos.
The cool billionaire that you wanted.
We need a cool billionaire. Dave, if you ever make a bill, be that cool
Download the
billionaire.
Barstool Sportsbook app Friday.
There you go.
Oh, by the time this airs, download it now.
Let's go to Phillips Morocco Locks of the Week. Phillips Morocco One Blade is the only tool that can trim, edge, and shave any length of facial hair. Now 20% off when you subscribe to replacement blades. Last week, everybody got a win but you, Dan.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
fine.
So I'm gonna let you start.
But you had the right team. You just
I had
chose
the
the
right
wrong
team.
bet.
Yeah, I did first half. I should have done full game. That was stupid. I'm going to take Troy -3 this week. I think Middle Tennessee stinks. I watched them against Army. They're terrible. Give me Troy -3.
Brandon.
Do you have that?
No,
Well, he
I
has
liked
multiple
it.
picks.
I wrote down 3. But
Was that one of them?
That wasn't one of the
You
3.
only get to have
right
one.
there, Troy -3.
Yeah, I scratched it out though.
Oh, okay, but it was at one point it
you're
was
right.
down. Okay.
It was one point it was down. I like Louisville over Miami.
That's the one-
-2.5. I love Louisville. I think they're a very good team. I think they win by more than 2.5 points.
Do you want to share your other ones? Because I know that you prepared more.
No, it's fine.
No, give them to the people.
Yeah,
it
but
won't
that-
count for
only
your
one
record.
counts.
Let the people hear
Yes.
it.
Cincy -33.5 over Austin Peay. Austin Peay is the team that had to
But
get.
they're gonna
maybe,
do
maybe,
it again.
but maybe not.
I wouldn't do it. I
Maybe
wouldn't.
not.
I'm telling everyone, do not bet that game.
If they get ushered off the field, fine. But otherwise,
If
this
they
is
do
Austin
the
Peay's
same thing, Brandon.
This is Austin Peay's last game of the
Give
year.
it out
They have nothing to
first
play
half.
for.
First half, then.
And-
Give it out first half.
What do you mean it's their last game? They only have
Austin
2
Peay
games
is
scheduled?
3.
Yeah, they
this
only
is
had
their
3
last game of the year.
Give it out first half.
It's fucking stupid.
First half. They can't cancel a first half bet.
Fine. Whatever the first half
I
line is
just
for
don't
Cincy.
want you to get canceled.
I agree. Cincy minus whatever it is in the first half because they're going to kill them. And UCF -7.5 over Georgia Tech. Those
All
are
right.
my 3.
Big Ev.
My lock of the week is UCF -7.5. Good quarterback, high-powered offense. I think for them, this is a chance to beat up on a Power 5 team. They were supposed to be playing North Carolina. That game got scratched, so that would have been a huge game for them. And I think people are just a little higher in Georgia Tech right now. I think Florida State stinks.
At me next time, Big Ev. I'll take Georgia Tech. That's my more lock. 2 in a row. I think they can win this game. I am stunned that Austin Peay. I don't know how I didn't know that 3-game schedule. I mean,
It's ridiculous.
what have we been doing? Like,
They need the money.
I mean, so many
Yeah,
like North Dakota State's not playing at all. These FCS teams are not.
Yeah, I'd rather not play at all than play 3 games.
Oh,
But they get like $3 million. They get
check.
like $3 million.
They're getting that. They went to Pitt.
Still like to play.
They're getting that check.
Yeah, I get it.
They're just getting the money to get humiliated. But if you're a kid, you want to play. No.
Do you want to go play and lose by 100? That you get mercy ruled and you're a laughing stock in the entire country, nation, world? No.
Do they all
Put it that
keep
way, no.
their eligibility technically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everybody this year is doing it.
I don't want.
Everybody's keeping their
I don't feel like doing 2 a day.
Everybody's keeping their eligibility.
No matter what.
Nobody's losing a year of eligibility this year.
Even if they play.
Even if they play.
That's amazing.
It's
Graham
unbelievable.
Mertz
It's a year
is
of
gonna be like a
pause.
6-time Heisman Trophy winner.
James Blackman will be back next year. So will
I love that.
Skylar Thompson at
I
Kansas
love
State.
that. So next year's going to be incredible college football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to. Yeah.
Derek King?
If he wants to.
Grad transfers can keep him too.
Eligibility is, they can keep it this year.
That's a fucking
great. That's crazy.
That's awesome. I'm going to take the over in the Tulsa Oklahoma State game, 66. We talked about that earlier. Rico gave me a great fact today. Mike Gundy has averaged 53 points in every opener the last 5 years. So I want to shout out
Did
Rico
he
for that
give you
fact.
that fact unsolicited. Did he walk up to you and was like, Kayce, I have a fact for you?
No, we were talking about what my lock was going to be, and I said that I liked the over.
No.
You weren't listening.
You went and asked Rico
Bullshit.
what your lock should be.
No, that's actually not true at all.
I
That's
don't care
absolutely not
about that. If you asked Rico,
I said I have a lock. I was
I'm
talking to
worried
Blattman.
about Rico being a little bit of a creep going up to
Oh,
him
no,
and being
no.
like, can I give you a stat?
No, we were already talking about the game, and then he gave me that stat.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Okay. And you like the over on that game too, right?
Yes.
And Blattman just came in my ear. I am telling the truth. You're a liar, Brandon.
He wasn't
Walker.
over there.
He was sitting right next to me.
Yeah, I didn't see him.
I'm fine with all that. I just don't need Rico walking around giving unsolicited stats to people.
You don't think he already does that?
Yeah, he does. I'm trying to curtail that.
Well, he did not do that to me, so don't get mad at
It's
him
an
for that.
HR violation. Rico's stats should not be just said out loud.
All right, those were the Phillips Norelco locks of the week. Don't forget to check out the new Trim It to Win It promo available.
The boom there, the jib, we faded out for like maybe
that's a
like
sick shot.
You don't think that was awesome?
Bring it in.
Dude,
Bring it in.
You don't think it looks a little
Look at
bit
that! Look at that! $2,500 a show right there.
Bring it in.
That's $2,500 a show.
This has been a thing since before we started recording.
$2,500 a show. It's worth it, Pete.
Can you bring it in?
That's worth it. $2,500 to do that.
Should I just
Now,
start
can you
reading
bring
the
it out?
promo? I'm not really sure what to do with
Bring
it.
it out.
It's very slow.
Bring it out.
This is
It actually
$2,500 a show.
Maybe make it fly a little bit.
That's great. We're in the hallway on the second floor.
Couldn't you just put Spider on some fucking rollerblades?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or maybe have like a robot where you could like go gadget arm.
Yeah. Put Spider in a chair.
Must be nice not to give a shit about budget.
So can I read the promo? I don't know what to do.
From here. Look at this. This is.
Oh.
You know what this happened? It started with Rough and Rowdy. When
It does
he
look
started,
great.
Like,
Carte blanche.
Yeah, and then
call
he's
it.
lost all sense of reality.
All right, Pete, I'll save you when I read this.
Scorsese.
This promo. Don't forget to check out the new Trim It to Win It promo, available nationwide. Pick up a specially marked one-blade Barstool pack, and you could win up to $1,000 to the Barstool store. Every pack is a winner, so get your Barstool merch while supplies last in stores near you. All right, let's finish off with the top 10. So we're going to welcome back the Big Ten. I know a couple of you guys had the Big Ten in your top 10s last week. I'm assuming everybody does this week. Well,
Correct.
Dan, you have your finger up? What?
I mean, I have both.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll start with mine. I definitely added them back in. I have Ohio State at number 2, but Penn State at number 6. I still have Texas A&M at number 10 because I know that they're not going to stay there, and I just like to talk about it until they lose, which I assume will be soon, just because I have no hope. But now that I can add the Big Ten in, I
Quit
feel a little
down
bit better.
talking Texas A&M. They're a good football team.
They are a good football, but if you hype yourself up to think that your team's going to be really, really good, you end up in a bunk like Dan did last year.
Got Wisconsin. That's what college football is. We get excited and we get sad, and then we get happy again.
No, they've let me down so many times.
I love to get my hopes up.
I know.
What's
Just
the point?
It's the only thing I have.
No, I'm excited, but I also know that
Texas A&M's a good football team, Kayce.
They are a good football team, but I don't know if they're a top 10 football team, but they are right now because they haven't even started their season yet. Is that okay? All right, Big Ed, what's your top 10?
Well, I mean, I always had them in. I knew they were going to play. So this week, my top 10 is the Big Ten.
Yeah,
Oh,
Big
there you
Ev.
go, Big Ev.
Yeah.
Big Ten
Pretty
Day.
good. I like that.
It's Big Ten Day. That's what it is. It's Big Ten Day.
Where's Maryland
Michigan
and
at
Rutgers?
7, huh?
Michigan is 7.
They're in there.
Is that in alphabetical order?
That's good.
No.
That's good.
Brandon, go ahead.
Yeah, so I brought in the Big Ten. The only two teams I brought in were Ohio State at number 2 and Penn State at number 6. I love Notre Dame. That's why I got them up at 5. A&M is a good team. I want to
Take it.
address my embarrassing top 10 last week when I had Iowa State in there at number 10, and they go out and lose to Louisiana Lafayette. That was a mistake. I believed in Brock Purdy. I believed in Matt
Well, you
Campbell.
drafted him on
I'm an
the
idiot. I
podcast.
did. I believed they were going
As
to be
your
good.
quarterback this year.
They stink. I still no LSU because I can't believe you guys are putting LSU in your top 10.
Credit to you for putting your hand up. I forgot about that, but it really discredits you.
It really does. It was,
I
it was
did not
embarrassing,
forget.
and I wish it
Credit
hadn't
for
happened in my life.
discrediting
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
Dan?
My big mover was Sir Yacht's number 1. There it is.
Oh,
nice.
because
I mean,
he was right
he
the whole
deserved
time.
number 1. Listen, he wasn't all the way right. Like, pretty much everything he said was wrong, except for the big picture that Big Ten was going to play.
right.
He
That's
stuck
all
with
that
it.
matters.
He stuck
That's all
with it
that
until he
matters.
turned right.
That's all that matters.
All the details just
He
don't count.
waited out the internet, and I commend him for that.
Dan or Dave?
So my big mover was Michigan, back in, and I have them at 1. Clemson 2, Ohio State, very good football team 3. And the rest of it, we'll see how it goes. I took LSU out based on basically what Brandon Walker said last week, but now I wish I didn't
I know.
because he's a fool.
And they haven't.
I made one mistake on my
Well,
team.
But it was a
When
big
no one
one.
else
No.
made a mistake, did anyone
the
else's
only
top
mistake.
10 lose last week?
No.
Which as a huge home favorite, I mean, it's a big mistake.
In fact, my top 10.
I made a mistake.
I had Suryatt
You
as
literally
10.
like picked the one team.
I believed in
the
Iowa
world.
State.
Yeah.
You should never believe in Iowa
It's
State.
the only team that could have lost in the top 10.
Why am I
Yeah,
listening to
so
you
just know
about
he
it?
believed in Iowa
could've
State.
lost.
Texas could have
They
lost.
played
They
UTEP.
didn't.
They played UTEP.
I had
They
number
weren't-
You
10.
picked the one team that you could pick. Anyways, I got Michigan 1.
Would
I
you
go
put
get
LSU?
Haircut.
Would you put LSU back in if you could, to spite Brandon?
Well, spite. I'm not a spite guy. I mean,
You're not a spite
well,
guy.
not Brandon.
That's good to know.
It's true.
All right. Anything else?
Not gonna go get a haircut.
What do you think about Brandon's haircut?
Let's not do
It's
this.
great.
Thank you.
I have no problem with it. It
I
still
like
has
it.
that fluff going, but I'm fine.
She wants me to grow it out, so it looks
So she
better.
can fluff it and make you look
Yeah,
like
she
fucking
needs
all the
more.
other-
I don't want to look like them, but I want to look better than I look now.
She was
You
like,
look
I
great.
can't do anything with this. I need more fluff.
That's exactly what she said.
Yeah,
she
no,
was
we
very,
know.
very mean about it. She said, "This doesn't work for you at all. You look ugly."
She just wants everyone to have the fluff.
It wants everyone to look the same, and they all look bad.
And now, that's not true.
Well, they look good. This is good looking.
Brandon, New York. All right, Dave, go get a haircut. We'll see you guys next week.
There goes the camera again.
There goes the camera.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
One thing to remember when you're gambling on the Barstool Sportsbook app, make sure that you gamble responsibly, know your odds, know your chances of losing.
Gamble responsibly. Nobody wants to end up in a trash can.
You can play with Penn National, which is a licensed and regulated operator. Big words. If you have a problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.